Attention, all views and opinions expressed in this video and channel are for educational purposes only.
How many hours are you in the store? Well, I stop by a couple hours a day. Bro, that's not ownership. That's a fucking hobby. Most smoke shops never even build a brand. They build a store, but not an identity brand. All right, guys, so let's stop pretending everybody makes it in this business. They don't. 9 out of 10 shops close within 2 years. I've seen it. You've seen it. Some go broke quietly. Some try to sell off everything, like on Facebook Marketplace. And some just quietly lock the doors and disappear. And it's not because the product stopped selling, in all honesty. It's because the owners stopped leading. And that's the hard truth. So today I want to talk about why most smoke shops fail and how to make sure you become the proverbial 10% that win. So if you own a smoke shop right now and you're tired of spinning your wheels, this one is really for you. Now listen, this isn't going to be a motivational speech. It's honestly a mirror. Let's face the truth and let's fix it. Let's go. Most failures start in the head before they hit the register. Too many people open shops because they think it's easy money. They see a busy store and say, man, I could do that. They got no plan, no training, definitely no discipline, just a lease and a dream. And they confuse being your own boss with being free from work. Well, newsflash, when you own a shop, you don't escape a boss. You become one for everybody. Your landlord's your boss when rent's due. Your vendor's your boss when you need stock. Your customer is definitely your boss when they're pissed off and unhappy. So if you came into this thinking it'd be chill money and short hours, you're dead wrong. And the 10% that win, understand this. Ownership ultimately means accountability. You don't get paid for clocking in. You get paid for solving problems. Here's a story for you. I met a guy at a trade show last year. Okay. Brand new owner at the trade show, 2 months in. And he was already complaining he wasn't making money yet. And so I asked him, I said, well, how many hours are you in the store? Well, I stop by a couple hours a day. Bro, that's not ownership. That's a fucking hobby. I told him straight, you want a business that feeds you like a baby, but you treat it like a pet. He laughed, but he needed to hear it. In all honesty, mindset's everything. If you're not mentally ready to grind or adapt and stay humble long enough to learn, this business is going to eat you alive. And here's the next killer, chaos. A lot of shops are basically organized confusion. No checklists, no inventory structure, no schedule, just vibes and panic. You can't build consistency on chaos. And the 10% that win treat systems like it's a survival gear. They have opening checklists, closing routines, reorder thresholds, training guides. They run actual reports and they don't guess. Hey man, it's fucking boring stuff until you realize boring is profitable. You want predictable results? Run a predictable system. I coached a store a couple years ago where sales were fine, but the profits were awful. And we found they were ordering whatever looked cool on Instagram instead of tracking the sale through. And 30% of their inventory hadn't moved in months. I got news for y'all, man. That's not inventory, that's furniture. Okay, we built a simple system, top 100 SKUs, and you track them weekly. Reorder only when they hit 30% remaining, and within 3 months, profit jumped dramatically. Same store, same traffic, just some organization. And systems make average people perform at a very high level. And that's why corporations win. They don't rely on memory, they rely on geared mechanics. And if you want to be that 10%, you're going to have some systems that protect you from your own laziness. Now, here's where most good owners die. Not from no sales, but bad cash flow. And they buy like hoarders. They spend like lottery winners. Come on, guys, you don't need every flavor, every color, every trend. You need fast movers. And these fast movers have to earn margin. Every box of unsold product on your shelf that's cash you can't use. And for a business, cash is oxygen. I once worked with an owner who had 2 rooms of backstock from 2022, I think. And I mean like old vapes, water pipes that were still in bubble wrap, had dust on them, old CBD from brands that I didn't even know. And I mean, this guy just kept telling me, I'll sell it eventually. I said, bro, it's 2025. This thing is 3 years old. And those products are expired like as soon as the TikTok trends was done with them. Well, he finally made a clearance table and marked it down, freed up space for products that actually moved. And within a month and a half, 4 to 6 weeks, his cash flow was healthy again. What's the lesson there, guys? Inventory, it isn't profit until it's sold. Stop chasing cool. Chase turn rate. And for the love of God, separate your business money from your personal money. Too many owners are honestly pulling cash out of the register for lunch and gas and weekend spending money. And then they wonder why they can't afford their payroll. You cannot fix what you won't track. And being in that 10% means knowing every dollar in and every dollar out. Not because you're cheap, it's because you're a fucking professional. Get with it. Now let's talk about the last real nightmare. Humans. Yeah, humans. Like in the zombie apocalypse, it won't be the zombies. It'll be the humans that are left. Employees will make or break your store. And most owners, you hire wrong. You're hiring friends, family, and whoever's cool and chill. You train them for like 10 minutes and then complain when the register's off. You cannot run a retail operation with your roommate. You need a team. Hire for attitude and energy, not just experience. Best employee I ever had didn't really know a thing about glass, especially not when she started, but she cared about the customers. She asked them questions and she showed up every fucking day. And within 6 months, she was running that place like a pro. Meanwhile, I had another guy. He knew everything. He was always behind, always late, always lazy. I kept him way too long. But you fire fast and you train slow. You reward that loyalty. And hey guys, lead by example. If you walk into your shop, okay, and you got low energy, like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, you know, if you don't know who Eeyore is, go look him up. Your team will look just like Eeyore too. It'd be a room full of Eeyores. If you complain about customers, they'll start talking shit on them also. Your staff's culture is really your store's culture. And if your store feels dead and the vibe's off, that's honestly on leadership, not on the weather, not on the stock that you have on the shelves. It's got to deal with you. The 10% that win build leaders and not a fucking clerk behind the damn counter. You train employees to think like as if they own that building. They have to care about display quality, inventory accuracy, and the whole customer experience. When your team feels that pride, your customers will feel it too. That's honest truth, okay? Think about it. Let me tell you about another failure, all right? It's a silent killer. It's maybe the biggest one of all. Most smoke shops never even build a brand. They build a store, but not an identity brand. There's a difference. A store sells products, energy drinks, grinders, water pipes, Delta, pre-rolls, disposables if they're still out there. But a brand sells a lifestyle identity. And when customers feel connected to your brand, they choose you even when somebody right down the street is cheaper. When you're just a store, you live and die by a damn price tag. When you're a brand, you live by loyalty. Think about shops in your city, the ones that have lasted, been there for years. Not just because it's the neighborhood spot, but you always see people in it. All right, they got recognizable names. They got their colors. They got a tone. They got culture. They host events and they know their customers by name. Man, that's not luck. That's branding. Branding isn't just logos and merch. It's kind of the promise behind your name. If the store vibe is cheap and cluttered, people expect chaos. If it says clean and curated, they expect the quality. You control that perception. And I've walked into stores that smelled like an ashtray, looked like a damn pawn shop, and the owner couldn't figure out why people weren't coming back. Well, that's not a marketing problem, my friend. That's a presentation problem. You're not just selling glass and papers. You're selling a damn experience, bro. When you build a community around that experience, the loyalty becomes automatic. Start local. Sponsor a small event. Run a customer of the month, up on the wall. Post your regulars with their permission, of course. Turn your store into the spot where people want to hang out. Because if they belong to your brand, they'll defend your prices. They'll share your posts. They'll bring their friends into your shop. And that's what the 10% understand. Listen, y'all, business isn't transactions. It's real relationships. Real. So how do you become one of the 10% that actually make it? Not magic. It's mastery of fundamentals. Okay, y'all? Step 1, own your mindset. Stop looking for fucking shortcuts. There aren't any. Every store that lasts was built on hard work and humility. You have to love the grind enough to survive it. Step 2, build systems, checklists, reports, routines. They're the skeleton of the shop. And without them, everything's going to collapse. With them, it'll grow big and strong. Step 3, control your money. Cash flow is the oxygen of your business. Don't suffocate yourself buying hype. Learn to say no to bad deals. Trendy junk. Don't buy it. Step 4, lead your people. Your employees follow your example. Show up early. Stay consistent. Celebrate the wins, but correct very fast. Step 5, protect the brand. Make every decision like it affects your reputation, because ultimately it does. Presentation, professionalism, and community outreach are true marketing. Now, if you've made it all the way here, those 5 steps, they're not glamorous, but they work. And if you do them long enough, something really fucking crazy happens. You stop worrying about the competition because your business becomes the standard in your area. You start getting vendor calls instead of chasing for them. You start hiring leaders instead of fucking babysitting them. You start sleeping better because the store finally runs the way you dreamt that it would. That's what winning feels like in this business. Not Ferraris, not viral TikToks. Peace. Profit real purpose. That's the real flex. So yeah, 90% of you are going to fail. And you'll blame the economy, the government, or your competition. But the other 10%, they're quietly going to build systems, teams, and a brand that will last. Now, don't you want to be in that 10%? Be honest. Our industry needs leaders. Our community needs professionals. And you got a shot at being one of those. One of those ones who prove it's still possible to build something real in this game. All right, guys, it's been Chad Wade TV. Real talk for the real shop owners. And if this episode hits home, share it with another owner, one that's tired of fucking excuses and needs to win. And remember, for tools and resources to run your business the right way, visit me over at chadwadetv.com. And for inventory to stock those shelves, unswholesale.com. So until next time, keep your shelves full, keep your margin protected, and your standards very, very fucking high. Smoke shop owners, listen up. If your store looks like a garage sale, your customers won't take your product seriously. Presentation is everything, and Displayarama gets it. These guys supply the fixtures that make stores money. Slat walls, showcases, racks, counters, all in stock and ready to ship fast. I've used them myself and they deliver on time, solid gear, zero headache. Most people think upgrading means expensive. Well, that's wrong. Displayarama makes professional retail affordable, whether you're remodeling one wall or building out your next location. So if you're tired of your shop looking halfway finished, hit Displayarama.com up today and get 5% off your order when you use my code ChadWade5 at checkout. Displayarama, real fixtures, real fast, recommended by me, Chad at Chad Wade TV.